you for joining VirtualPBX Dash admin training. This is, as the name suggests, is for our Dash platform. For those of you who maybe are the console customers, you're going to, unfortunately, we no longer have live trainings for the V console. However, if you go under our support page, so Mass Server Support, click on V console support. That takes you to this page here. You scroll down, and the advanced admin training, that is the full training for our V console customers. And then further down, we have our various guides for V console features and VoIP devices. Now, likewise, for our Dash customers, if for some reason you can't finish this whole training or missed it, you can always go to the Dash support page and the new user training here. That's going to cover everything that's in the training. And also further down, you've got the guides for the various features, as well as VoIP devices and other guides here. All right, so let's get over into logging in. So under support, or you mouse over support, then you want to click on PBX login. This takes you to the general login page. And then you will scroll down. And first you see the Dash login, which is what you're typically going to be clicking on. And just below that, you've got the VirtualPBX web phone. The web phone is a specific device for Dash. It counts as a VoIP device, soft phone. Makes use of a desktop browser. Right now, that is Chrome and Firefox. And it can be on a desktop computer or a laptop computer, but it has to be the desktop version of those browsers. And then you can make and receive calls through your browser. And it uses the same login credentials as you do to log into Dash. It doesn't consistently work on a mobile device or mobile versions of the browsers. Like I've been able to get to work on my Android phone. We've had several customers with iPhones, for example, not have a lot of luck. And it's basically, it can break whenever there's an update to the browser, especially on the mobile platforms. That will be something that's improved upon on the next version of the web phone. And then further down here, we have the V console login for our V console customers. So we'll go ahead and click on Dash login. It's going to open up a new tab. All right, so your login, your username, that's your email address. Obviously, you have a password. If you just signed up, the system automatically created one for you. You can change that anytime. And then your account name, which is typically your company name. If you ever forget, you forgot your info link here. We'll ask you some additional questions, get you new credentials. And then we're taken to our dashboard page. So in here in the middle here, we got the total users. So these are your fully functional users. These people make and receive calls. They can use a variety of devices. So they can use cell phones or landlines to accept calls. They can use the web phone. They can use and a variety of VoIP phones. These people also have a lot of features built into them. Like they can have their own conference bridge. They can have their own fax box if they want it. You can set them up to call forward. You can do hot desking, etc. Below that, we have agents. Agents are specific to ACD queues. So these are people who are typically just receiving calls, and they're logged into an ACD queue. They are restricted to VoIP devices only. So a physical VoIP phone, a soft phone, so an application on a computer or on a cell phone, as well as a web phone. And again, they don't have any of other features. I think the only feature they have is voicemail currently. They don't have any of the other features that a user has. Now, adding users will increase your bill. Actually, adding agents will also increase your bill, but not by as much. I believe it's agents, it's like $4.99 per agent. And the reason for the difference in cost, not just because of the features, but because you're using ACDQ. ACDQs have their own fee associated with them as well. So, in essence, being exorbitant on that. Below agents, we got total devices. So basically, these are all the devices you've added to the account. These will include any VoIP phones, cell phones, or landlines that you have to the account. Over towards the right, you have your main number. So these are the phone numbers that your customers call in to reach your phone system. So these phone numbers all act the same way. So they'll all have the same greeting, for example. They'll all have the same routing. Below that, you've got your fax box number, so basically for inbound faxing. And then total numbers. These are the phone numbers that you have on your account that you're being charged for. Assigned numbers, these are numbers that are actually in use. They go someplace. Either they're a main number, fax box number, they go directly to a user or to a ring group or to an ACDQ. Below that, that's split. It shows the breakdown between US DID and US toll-free. Basically, DID means it's a local phone number. So like, oh, it's a New York number, it's a Los Angeles number, etc. Oh, I should go back. For spare numbers are numbers on your account that you're not using. They actually don't ring to anything, but they're still on your account. You're basically saving them for future use. Below the phone number breakdown, you've got some little pieces of information here. You've got the company directory, which you can download. So these are for users that you've said to put in the user directory or who've elected to be in the user directory. The account ID, that's your actual account number. We actually don't typically need that from you. Like if you have to call into support or for billing, for instance, we're going to ask you for your company name because it's usually a lot easier to search for that than this long, complicated number. And then lastly, the account realm. This is used to program a soft phone, a third-party soft phone. It's also used for faxing. All right, up here, you have your company caller ID. This is your default company caller ID. It uses one of your main numbers, and you can select it among your main numbers. Company caller ID name, otherwise referred to as CNAME or CNOM. This is restricted to 15 characters, including spaces and special characters. That's an industry standard, at least as far as I've been told. And this is information that gets sent to the various servers among various carriers that support CNAME. So this takes about 3 business days to get to all the servers, and then it'll start showing. Now, a couple things about CNAME that you should be aware of. Not every carrier in North America supports it. So if a call happens to route through a carrier that doesn't support CNAME, that information doesn't get through the destination device. Obviously, if any carrier is having some sort of maintenance or whatnot, the CNAME information is the first thing that they drop off. The information that goes through, because it's more important for the call to connect and then the caller ID, the number itself to show up. And then lastly, if you're calling to someone who had your phone number programmed into a device, to their phone, whatever they have labeled your number is what will show up, not what we send. Device programming overrides outside programming. And then below that, we have E911, or company emergency address, or enhanced 911. So this is generally for your VoIP phones. You want to have this programmed in so that if someone picks up, say, a Polycom phone and dials 911, this is the default address that is sent out to emergency services. Then that's where they're going to go. So you want to make sure that's correct. And you can also have that set up by device. So that way, with people who are remotely, will have their correct address. Over here, we've got hold music. So on Dash, you can upload your own media files. So hold music, greetings, voicemail greetings, etc. The file needs to be either a .wav, or a .mp3. Typically, I recommend MP3 just because you can get a longer file for a better compression rate. So right now, you're restricted to 1 megabyte uploads. A 1 megabyte MP3 is roughly 5 minutes. Should be plenty of time for most uses. This will also show you music or files that you've already uploaded. In this case, I have several. If you choose to upload, you click the upload box. You find the file on your computer, and then you click on the little upload icon here to the right. Once it's uploaded, you click on Save Changes. So then we've got hours, which are hours of operation. All right, so hours of operation, basically, when are you open? By default, new accounts are set up to 24-hour open office, so basically your calls will ring through to something. Most people choose custom office hours. For each day of the week you're open, you put a check mark in front of that day. And then to the right, you put your open hours in 24-hour or military time. If closed, you obviously leave the date unchecked. And then down at the very bottom, little feature here, you can put a check mark if your whole office or your whole store is closed for lunch. All right, so everyone, we're going to lunch, boom. And if that's a consistent thing you do every day, put a check mark here, and then put your lunch hours, again, in military time. So that way, in this case, I think it's like noon. Yeah, so once noon hits, the system goes, oh, it's lunch hours. Put you into your lunch mode. Down here, we have office holidays. You can set your office holidays in advance. You can click on Add Holiday, single day, date range, or advance. So single day, just a particular day. So for President's Day, you can put President's Day in, boom, the system will know to close on that day. Now, obviously, for something like President's Day, it changes from year to year. So after it passes, you can go ahead and delete it. Whereas something like 4th of July in the United States, that's always on the 4th. No need to change it. You can just leave it there, and it's always going to happen. Date range, this is when you're going to be closed for several days. Like I have it down here for Christmas. All right, so December 22nd hits, system says, hey, you're in holiday mode, closed, and opens up after the 26th. Now, one caveat for date range, and which you might notice here, is that there's no input for years. So you don't want to do a date range that covers New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day. So the system just puts you in holiday mode all the time. So just for New Year's Eve, do a single day for New Year's Eve, and then a single day for New Year's Day. And if you're any other times, do date ranges before or after. The advanced option is like here, the second Monday in March. Every year we're closed, like company retreat. And again, any changes you make, click on Save Changes. Incoming call handling. So this is how your main numbers are routing calls. Now on default, I'm on the open hours because that's typically what most people are focused on. But you also have these tabs here for lunch because I put that check mark. up there under what was that? Office hours strategy. Right, then after hours, so when you're closed, and then we have another tab for holidays because I have holidays and put it on the system. Right, first window here, or box, incoming call comes to the virtual receptionist. So basically people dial a number, they get to the virtual receptionist. This is where a main greeting will play, and you should have menu options for people to enter, right? So you click on the link here, I'm going to open up a window, and you see on my left here, I've got the menu option. So pressing 1 goes to my Borderlands ring group, 2 goes to my school ring group, 3 goes to Ray, who's just a single person, 4 goes to my directory. It looks like, what's that, number 8 is going to Charles, who's also just a single person. I could have this also go directly to a voicemail box. You know, I could have it go to a particular device, usually not recommended, but you can do it. You also have this go play to a media file, right? So just a greeting plays. Now, downside for that is that once the greeting stops playing, it ends the call. Likewise, if you just send a call to a device, if they don't pick up, it ends the call. Right? They don't have any other recourse. Your greetings, you've got text to speech. You type in what you want the system to say. Computerized robotic voice makes it available right away. And you can edit this right here if you need to. Upload your own file, again, .wav, .mp3. One thing I should comment about media files on a phone system, right? So on your computer's a digital device, it's going to be typically in stereo. When you listen to something over the phone, you're in a mono device. So it's not in stereo. So you want to make sure when you're uploading files to your phone system that you record in mono. If you record in stereo and you listen over the phone, you're going to hear a lot of static. You can choose from any recordings you already have on the system. You can choose to record it over the phone. Now, the system is looking for a VoIP phone that's already on the system. You call the main number, you enter the PIN, and then you can record over the phone. Professional recordings. This is, we've partnered with another company called Snap Recordings. And if you click order, it'll go to their page. They have several packages. You can just get a greeting, right? But you can also have like greeting mixed in with music. They have like 100 voice actors to choose from. They have English and various versions of English, like Australian English, British English. They have French, they have Spanish, and they can have a bilingual greeting. So pretty full service feature. And then down right here, number of retries on a missed dial. Basically, how many times will that main greeting play before it sends it to a default action? And then click save. Now, when you make any changes in here, on any of these boxes, you also have to click save changes out here as well to make sure those changes take. All right, so this box here, call comes in, it's going to ring Bob, who's just a particular user. But again, I can send it to a ring group. I can set it to a device. I believe that is, you can also set it to a media file, I believe. Yeah. And then after it does that action, it goes to the virtual receptionist. So this is typically for when you want to give your staff members a chance to answer the call first. Okay, no one picks up, then send in the receptionist, so the virtual receptionist, so that way the inbound caller can play the menu option. And then this last option over here, call comes in, again, can go to a user, can go to a group, allow someone to answer the call. But if no one picks up, boom, send them to a voicemail box. This one also has a feature for, very bottom here, just skip it to voicemail. Just send them straight to voicemail. Like, you know you're going to be closed for a while. You don't want to have a big, huge rigmarole. You just send them to voicemail for right now. All right, looks like no one has arrived. So I'm going to go ahead and end this training.